Today, I'm going to be talking about 10 exercises that I've used to help heal my ulcerative colitis. My name's Jacob, and I've been diagnosed with ulcerative colitis for over 10 years, and I'd like to share some of the knowledge and experience that I've gained over this time to help expedite your healing. And if you'd like to learn how to thrive despite your IBD, then subscribe to this channel, because I'm going to be sharing everything that I know in all my videos. Number 1 is walking. Walking is one of the best exercises that you can do to increase blood flow across your body and get you moving. And not only that, but it's one of the best exercises that you can use in any health state. And what I mean by this is it doesn't matter how ill you are, how bad you're feeling, you can always go for a little walk, and you can scale it to how well you're feeling. When I was in hospital with ulcerative colitis, I would still make myself walk around the hospital floor, even though I was shuffling around like an old man, because I know that movement will spark healing. And since I've been out of hospital, I make sure to get as much movement as I can throughout the day, and this involves a lot of walking. Treating walks as one of your exercises can be a way to get you into the right mindset to start exercising, because there's not a large barrier to entry. It's not about going to the gym, it's not about lifting heavy weights, it's just about going for a walk. But speaking about lifting weights, number 2 is the deadlift. Deadlift is a fantastic exercise, and it uses so many muscles across your whole body. And I've relied on deadlift many times throughout my many flares to help get me through it. When I was in a particularly deep flare, I would go out into my garden and I'd deadlift some heavy weight, because it was the only thing that really made me feel human again. When you're flaring, it can really make you feel like a shell of a human being, and picking up that heavy weight really got my juices flowing and made me feel invigorated again. When I truly give myself into the deadlift and push myself to my limits, it would allow me to reach a zen-like state and help me forget about flaring for just a moment. Number 3 is the lat pull down. If you're anything like me, you might spend a lot of time sitting down, and that's going to keep you hunched over. So doing a lat pull down will engage all those muscles in your back and help straighten you up. Spending a lot of time in this hunched over state can get all of your muscles tight and pull you forward. So it's very important to get some exercise into your back and strengthen it to help keep you upright. Think about your back as your shield. It's going to protect you from pain, and the more work that you put into your back, the less likely you are to feel back pain. So while we're at the gym, number 4 is the bench press. The bench press is a useful exercise for when you're flaring with ulcerative colitis, because it's one of the few movements that you can do lying down. And this is more of a benefit than you realize when you're flaring, because some movements might make you feel like you need to use the bathroom or make you feel a bit sick, but being able to lie down yet still push some weight is a great relief. Number 5 is back extensions. In the same way I like to use lat pull downs to help strengthen the shield, I like to use back extensions to strengthen the bottom of the shield. Again, if you're sitting down a lot of the time, you can get a tight lower back. But back extensions are a nice, easy way to get some blood into your lower back and help start strengthening it. And if the deadlift doesn't really appeal to you, you can always use the back extension to get the same effect. The back extension will strengthen an array of muscles on your posterior chain. It can help work your lower back, your butt, and your hamstrings. And working those muscles are not only going to reduce back pain, but they could also reduce knee pain. So it's a great exercise to add into your repertoire. Continuing with the focus on your back and that shield, number 6 is the rear delt fly. The rear delt fly is one of my favorite exercises because it really stretches your back and helps strengthen your shoulder. The deltoid is made of 3 heads: the anterior delt, the lateral delt, and the rear delt. And the rear delt can be a forgotten exercise. Your anterior delt, or front delt, can be worked greatly when you're doing bench press, but that could leave you unevenly strong on the front of the shoulder. So it can be useful to strengthen the back of your shoulder to keep everything balanced. And not only that, but it also helps counter all that sitting that we're all doing so much. So we're going to get technical now with number 7, and that's the single leg dumbbell Romanian deadlift. I love this exercise for a number of reasons. First of all, it's a deadlift that doesn't require much weight, so that means it's going to be a lot less fatiguing. It's also a great exercise in balance because it challenges how well you can stand on one leg. And because it doesn't require much weight, or any weight if you're just starting it, you can do it simply at home, so you're much more likely to give this one a go. I've personally found this exercise very challenging on my hamstrings and my glutes, and I think it's overall an excellent exercise. Number 8 is running. Running is a great way to get your heart pumping and increase blood flow across your whole body. And just like walking, it can be scalable to how fit you are. I personally started my running journey quite recently, and I've already seen great benefits from engaging in regular running. Not only does it increase your lung capacity, but I've also seen proven test results that my red blood cell count has increased since doing so. This means that regular running increases blood flow across your whole body, meaning that you recover faster and heal faster. Number 9 is boxing. And I'm not talking about fighting someone else, just simply hitting a heavy bag. In much the same way that running is going to increase your lung capacity and your blood flow across your whole body, boxing can do the same. And I like to use boxing on those days when I don't feel like running. Boxing is a great way to get your heart rate up and strengthen your hands. On days when I've been a bit overzealous with my boxing training, I've really noticed that this hand muscle gets quite sore. So I'm looking forward to how strong my hands can really get with regular boxing training. And lastly, for number 10 is band work. Using bands is a great way to get blood pumped into your muscles without needing to leave the house. Band exercises can be useful even just sat at the desk. So I highly suggest getting yourself some bands just so you have them lying around the house, meaning that you have an option to do some exercise while you're there. For those of you who have a keen idea around the gym, you might be asking, Jacob, where are the squats? Even though I think squats are a great exercise, I decided not to include them in this list, and for one very good reason. When I've been flaring bad with my ulcerative colitis, I found that squats are the one exercise that seemed to put quite a lot of pressure on my abdomen, and I found this very uncomfortable when I was flaring. And while I still suggest experimenting for yourself to see if squats feel okay for you, I wouldn't personally suggest doing weighted squats whilst you're flaring with inflammatory bowel disease. Ultimately, what exercise that you choose to do is up to you. Even choosing just one of the exercises from the 10 that I've suggested today will start putting you in a better state to begin healing. It definitely beats just sitting around feeling sorry for yourself and wishing not to be in flare anymore. So if you've got to the end of this video and you're confused about which exercise to start with, then just start with walking and go from there. So if you're interested in learning my life story with ulcerative colitis, then click this video that's popped up now and you can see all about how I got here today.